Ladies and gentlemen of the internet, my name is Demigod Shmurda here, and welcome back to another video, and welcome back to another episode of Arrowverse Analysis. After an entire year of making these videos, we've finally arrived at the Arrow Season 2 finale. To many viewers, this is the peak of the entire series of Arrow, and it's not hard to see why. But to make sure we're all going into this finale as informed as we can, allow me a few minutes of your time as I tell you the story of the man who failed his city. The story of Oliver Queen is the story of a man at war with himself. Slade is not just a personal villain for Oliver, he is representative of Oliver's failures. There's a reason that the Arrow writers tried to recreate this dynamic with Prometheus 2 years later. The writers had 2 seasons that were generally considered failures back to back, and so they decided to revisit the story that was considered to be Arrow's peak. But unlike Prometheus, the writers did not need to reshape Oliver's history to fit their new narrative and erase the story established by Season 1. In Season 1, we see Oliver kill, but it's established time and time again that he shows restraint. This message is shown many times throughout Season 1. Oliver could have easily killed this man because the Brava asked him to, but decided to instead fake his death and arrange a new identity for him. Oliver chooses not to kill Adam Hunt, Jason Brodeur, Cecil Adams. He tries to teach Helena Bertinelli to not kill unless it's absolutely necessary. He only kills in the heat of battle or when an innocent life is put in harm's way. But he always gives people a chance to do the right thing, whether that be with threats or by talking them down.
How about you start with Ken Williams? Did he also get to enjoy your adrenaline last night?
No, he returned the money that he stole just in time to put his son to bed. Like I said, Felicity, just a warning.
This is best shown in the episode Salvation, where Oliver chooses to appeal to Joseph Fox's humanity instead of just killing him as his opening move. Oliver can simply just end Fox's life right here, and according to what Season 5 says about Oliver, he should absolutely do so. But that's not who Oliver Queen is retconned into yet. He chooses to give Falk a second chance.
If you kill this kid, he'll never get an opportunity to change. You can give him a second chance.
Despite this being the best example, it is far from the only one. Oliver gives many people chances to change during the first season. Derek Reston, Garfield Linz, Ted Gaynor, Helena Bertinelli. Even everyone he goes after on the list is given a chance to change and become a better person, despite many of them not taking it. In a way, Oliver is like Red Skull in Infinity War. He tries to help people become the way he wishes he was. He tries to help others live up to the teachings he learned from those he met on Lian Yao Fei.
Remember, everything breathe. You breathe, you survive here longer.
Shadow.
The Tao Te Ching recognizes the yin and the yang, opposing forces inside all of us. The darkness, light, the killer, and the hero.
Peter.
I've always said the essence of heroism is to die so that others can live.
I wasn't thinking about saving anybody. It's not who I am. Maybe not yet.
Oliver constantly tries to live up to the sacrifices made by these people by spreading their teachings, but because he blames himself for Shadow's death, he refuses to apply those same lessons to himself. And it's for this reason that he constantly fails to change people's minds. Helena Bertinelli, Roy Harper, his own sister Thea. Oliver's lack of faith in himself and his actions is both what makes him an interesting character and what prevents him from being the hero he believes he should be. And yet, even though Oliver saves a lot of people, he ultimately loses by the end of the Season 1 finale. When Tommy dies, Oliver learns that even though he was a decent hero, he wasn't good enough.
Now, I don't think you're testing us to see if we're strong enough. I think you're testing us to see if we are good enough.
This is ultimately what makes him choose to give up the hood. Oliver believes that all he did was kill a few guys every now and then, but he never really made an actual difference.
Look, there's a part of being the hood that neither one of you are considering. The body count.
Since when do you care?
Since Tommy.
My best friend died thinking that I was a murderer.
Oliver refuses to forgive himself for his past sins, and it is this reason that he allows Blood and Isabel to deceive him. This is the reason he allows Slade to continually get the upper hand on him. But this finale is different, because we see that Oliver is faced with the same choice he made 5 years prior. Oliver has to choose to either save his city or his soul. Oliver's job in this finale isn't to choose, but rather find a third option where everybody wins. And sure, that might seem like a cop-out to some, but I believe it's acceptable when that's the entire point of the story.
Well, everywhere I look, there are no good options. I don't know what to do.
Arrow's first 2 seasons aren't perfect, but I do believe that this is the strongest and most consistent that any group of characters has written throughout the Arrowverse. Now, we've arrived at the finale, the culmination of 2 whole years of storytelling. If this is your first episode and you're wondering how my rating system works, there's a detailed description down below, along with a link to all my other episodes of Overanalysis, but I encourage that you watch this one first. I'm sure you'll still enjoy it. With that out of the way, let's return to the Overanalysis. Arrow Season 2 concludes with the episode Unthinkable, which premiered on May 14th, 2014, and was directed by John Baring. Oliver's moral code is put to the ultimate test as Slade's army continues to rampage through Starling City. Team Arrow, along with the Suicide Squad and League of Assassins, must work together to cure Slade's army and stop him before Amanda Waller sends them all to Kingdom Come. We started Peak Arrow with the Star Labs hoodie, it's gonna end with the Star Labs hoodie. Let's go!
Previously on Arrow.
Slade Wilson.
Oliver Queen.
There might be a fighter inside of you after all.
I love that we're getting the montage here of Slade and Oliver and Shadow, because this season finale has been built up for a year and a half at this point, man. We are seeing every moment in every flashback that led up to this finale in a whole minute and a half long build-up. Oh, we get this shot, too, of him holding the mask. And we cut into the episode.
Proximity alarm.
Proximity alarm, that's how they detected Ivo's men at the beginning of the season.
I rigged the tower with sensors just in case Slade's goons came here to kill us.
Where am I?
Hey, Roy's awake! And he doesn't have his super strength anymore, so they know that the cure works now. No mask in that shot. Oh, he doesn't even have it around his neck. Oh, hang on! We get a good shot of the hole in the clock tower here. And you know how I made that comment saying that I couldn't find the hole that Oliver made in League of Assassins in the last episode? This hole is much bigger than the one that Roy made in Seeing Red. I think that this is as close as we're gonna get to the hole that Oliver made in League of Assassins. I think Oliver's was on the other side of the clock face. But you know what? This might just be that same hole. Or as close as we're ever gonna get anyway. Yep, Argus helicopter. Oh, and it's Lila shooting! Okay! For the final time this season! This era of Arrow, I did it! Guggenheim served as an executive producer for all of Arrow's first 6 seasons. Wow. He's credited as developed by for all of seasons 1 and 2. So, as far as I'm concerned, yeah, this is the end of the Guggenheim era of Arrow, dude. And trust me, as sad as it is only downhill from here. Welcome back to the Foundry. Wow, Slade ransacked this place.
You need to stop Waller or buy us enough time to stop Slade.
Yeah, not without me. To death do its part, right?
Till death do us part indeed, dig!
Injection arrows. We're gonna fill them with the cure in this ends tonight without killing.
This isn't the Flash. We don't need to see pointless flashbacks. We know Moira's dead. This is actually a really cool shot. You can see Thea walks towards the camera away from Malcolm's body, and the camera pans up, and then we get this focus shot on Thea here, And you can see Malcolm getting up. And there he is, as the camera then turns one more time. All done in one take.
It's called Kevlar.
You're gonna kill me. Just get it over with.
Because you shot me? I'm glad you did.
You're sick.
Perhaps.
I love that Malcolm doesn't even rule out the possibility that he's crazy, dude. It's Slade and Malcolm. Then Prometheus.
How else to explain the fact that not a year ago, your brother held a gun to my face as well? He lacked the conviction. The strength to pull the trigger, but not you, Thea. You are truly my daughter, and I could not be more proud.
Crazy fucker, dude. But that's why we love Malcolm.
My sister can't be a part of this. I don't want her getting hurt.
Oh, she's talking to Nyssa!
Laurel.
I missed Katrina Law's name, dude. I was looking at all of them. That was one of the ones I missed. Every single side character is brought around. Well, not every single one, but all of the major ones. Malcolm, Deadshot, Amanda Waller. They bring Nyssa back. They bring Sarah back. The one character that I believe doesn't come back is Anatoly. Just goes to show you how much groundwork they were laying and how many characters they bring into this finale. Okay, I would love to have my hair in front of my headphones, but it's getting too much in my face. I have to pull it back. I'm too excited, and it obscures my vision.
Well, what do you remember?
Leaving town and heading to Bloodhaven. Was I out cold the whole time? Felicity.
You were out. The whole time.
We need a whole army if we plan on hitting them with a cure.
Which is why an army is what I've brought.
What is she doing here?
I asked her to come. I am Nyssa, daughter of Rachel Gould, heir to the throne.
Felicity Smoke. MIT class of 09.
Felicity's response! That's so great. Also, Katrina Law's delivery is exactly the same as it was during Heir to the Demon, which just... She's so great in this role, dude. Also, I'm starting to get sweaty in this sweatshirt, but I'm gonna keep it on for principle because we need to end this era of Arrow the way it began. Even though this is technically a Flash thing, but whatever.
These people are mercenaries, Sarah, and whatever they promised you, it comes at a price.
I've already paid it.
You agreed to go back.
I'm not gonna let Slade Wilson hurt Laurel or my father.
I am willing to do whatever it takes, but that doesn't mean cold-blooded killing is the answer, Sarah. We have the cure now.
To fight the unthinkable, you have to be willing to do the unthinkable. To fight the unthinkable,
Roll credits.
you have to be willing to do the unthinkable.
Roll credits a second time.
Slade Wilson and Isabel Reshef are using your former office building as their base of operations.
Remember your training.
It's not the exact same box that Barry gave Oliver his mask in, but it's very reminiscent of it, and it's got Roy's Arsenal mask inside of it. Although he doesn't officially become Arsenal until season 2, and technically his character is Speedy or Red Arrow, but they made Thea Speedy, and then Roy is supposed to be Red Arrow, and then they call him Arsenal. There's a reason for it, but point being, they even bring the mask thing back around, dude. This season is by no means perfect, but just the amount of care that goes into all of the side characters showing up, all the full circle moments, all the references to previous episodes like this. And again, I cannot emphasize enough the fact that they've been setting up this storyline between Oliver and Slade since halfway through season 1. And people do not realize how much that deserves to be appreciated, because that is never done in any superhero thing. You don't just have a villain that sticks around for that many years. You just don't. Certainly not without that character becoming a tired shell of their former self. Looking at you, Reverse Flash. And you too, Tobias Whale. Don't think I'm not including the Black Lightning villains just because I like Black Lightning. But that's not the point I was trying to make. The point that I was trying to make was you'd never see a character's descent into madness over multiple seasons or multiple projects. You never see a character start out as heroic or as at least an ally and them develop into the next season's main villain. You do not see that in any superhero thing. Looking back on it, Marvel actually almost did that with Scarlet Witch in the MCU, but then they kind of backed out at the last second and just resolved her storyline in Multiverse of Madness. And it's a real shame because I really did like Wanda becoming the villain, but that's just me. There's a reason that the one Funko Pop I own is Wanda, okay? But yeah, point being, it's crazy that no superhero show or movie or connected universe or anything like that game has ever attempted to have a character like we see their descent over the course of multiple outings or multiple iterations, and it's like it's just sad that Slade is like not only the best one, but is the only one. There's a reason that this finale is peak Arrow, and you guys are about to see it. If you haven't already, you're about to see it. And it is fucking phenomenal.
Someone, a friend, once told me that if you survive a crucible, you grow the stronger for it.
Sebastian Blood. He recognizes Blood as a friend. That's interesting to note, considering that he was, you know, working with Slade. Also really cool, we get that sentiment of friendship between Oliver and Blood in a scene where we're talking with Oliver and Roy about their masks, and about Roy putting his on for the first time, and that crucible that he survived, considering the last time that Oliver saw Blood, he was threatening to expose his identity. His exact line was, "If you tell them about my mask, I will tell them about yours." You're gonna have to do a damn good job convincing me that that was not done on purpose. Because it's this season and this finale and this group of writers.
We do this my way.
The League does not take prisoners.
It does tonight.
It does tonight, he says! Just something I want to call out. Both Roy and Thea are wearing red coats. Tinfoil hat theory, of course, but I feel like that's supposed to remind you, hey, you know, this character is Speedy, and Roy is Speedy in the comics, so there's a bit of a connection between them there. I never noticed that before, but it's, again, with this team of people that was working on the show at this time, I 100% believe that that was done on purpose. I also like that they have her slow down instead of just answering the phone right away.
Can you please meet me in my place?
I'll be there.
Aww.
As soon as I can.
Who was that? Roy?
How would... I don't care.
You're my daughter. There's not much I don't know about you.
That's fair. That's fair. I had a question and they immediately gave me an explanation.
Interesting how you'd run back to him after resolving to run away to escape all the lies and half-truths. He's no different, Thea. No different from your mother or Oliver. If you don't believe me, then you should go to him.
These guys are all incapacitated. You can say they all have the cure.
You must have quite a bit of faith in this cure if you've come alone.
We didn't come alone.
Oh, Sarah and Nissa take on Isabel together.
Kill me. Don't kill me. Doesn't matter. Your reticence to do what is necessary is why your city burns.
I did not think that was how she died.
I can't get close enough to Slade to hit him with the cure.
And for the final time, the CGI boat.
I know you blame me for Shadow's death! I blame myself!
He should.
You said once that we were brothers.
You know, when we first tried to get off this island, we were just strangers, but now it's just brothers.
I wouldn't be alive right now if it wasn't for you.
I would be alive if it wasn't for him.
Think about Shadow!
I am thinking about...
She'd want all of this to end!
He's right. This needs to end. You need to kill him.
Ooh, Selena Jade put some venom in her voice there, and I like it. I know what way the internet is gonna take that, but please, for the love of God, don't. Oh, there's his mask.
Pull the trigger.
One of these masked guys, they took Laurel.
All of Slade's men are gathering at the Giordano Tunnel.
I thought these guys were trying to destroy the city, not escape it.
Argus is gonna level the city to stop them from getting out. That's what Slade's planning on. He knows Waller's tactics.
Fortunately, all our targets were grouped in a single place.
What about Laurel? Also took her for a reason.
I know what it is. The city comes first.
You can't just leave her like this!
I know you said you were trying another way, and I respect that. But Slade Wilson, his men, they're monsters. And monsters, they need to be destroyed.
Second person in the episode, in fact, second member of the Lance family in the episode, to acknowledge that it would just be so much easier if Oliver were to just take kill shots on all of these guys.
You've killed before. Tonight I suggest you get back in the habit.
Quentin just straight up says it.
He's wrong.
He's right. I've lost everything because I'm fighting Slade Wilson with one hand tied behind my back.
You told me you had a choice. That years ago you could have cured Slade, but you chose to kill him instead. This isn't happening because you're not willing to be a killer. It's happening because you were one.
Are you right? That's how this started. That's how it has to end. I can't cure him. I can't capture him. I can't even outthink him.
Then don't make him outthink you.
That's called foreshadowing. Oh, she backs off.
I was injected
With some drug, I know.
Sin told her in Seeing Red.
And what about the arrow? He said he was gonna take care of you.
I don't know anything about the arrow. I'm done with all of that.
And I'm sure there's part of her that wants to believe that.
Let's just get out of here.
There's just one thing I need to take care of before we go, okay?
No, Roy, it's dangerous out there.
I know. But I have to do this. I wouldn't feel right if I left without trying.
Same reason he tried to save a bus full of people in season 1. Even bringing that same sort of emotional beat back in this finale with Roy.
You need to stay here.
No, not unless you tell me why.
Slade took Laurel because he wants to kill the woman I love.
I know, so...
So he took the wrong woman.
Are you okay?
I'll come back.
Promise me.
If you ever need to tell someone about your day, you can tell me.
You're not alone. And I believe in you.
You will always be my girl, Felicity.
Her only reaction is, oh. I bet there's a little bit of surprise in that.
Do you understand?
Yes.
And that's when she's like, oh, fuck. I said make him outthink you. God, now that I know what's coming, dude, I appreciate this so much more than I ever possibly could have, dude. Back when I first watched this, however many years ago, I mean. This right here, this is such, this is so genius, dude.
Johnny.
Yeah.
Never mind.
Oh, she was gonna tell him she's preggers. Did I really just say preggers? Yeah, neither me nor any other member of the Council of Demigods claims this guy. He is not one of our variants. Cue the next scene and save me from this embarrassment, please.
Drone is 52 minutes out from target.
50, fuck you, show! Yo, look at this!
No kill shots. Let the cure do its work.
Group shots! Look at this, dude. Oh, yeah. Oh, you can see the pictures inside his cell.
Waller's looking to bomb Starling City. We need your help to stop her.
It's just that little matter of tick, tick, boom.
No dropping bodies.
Yeah, sure, take the fun out of it.
Oh, wait. He was going to unlock Harley Quinn's cell. I did see a deleted scene where they had someone else stand in for Tara Strong's voice, and then they didn't unlock that one. But they unfortunately could not include because CW.
No dropping bodies.
Yeah, sure, take the fun out of it. Ah, no. Not her. Trust me.
Come on, chocolate pudding, let me out. I want to play. I want to
Let's
play.
move.
Hey, let me out.
I actually want to focus in on this part of the fight scene right here. You can see Nyssa goes in for this stab, and then she spins, and Oliver has or rather she turns, and Oliver has already turned. It reminded me of something that was right out of like a Stargirl fight. And this is the part of the video where I need to go look up my login information for Max so that I can actually show you an example of that. So the fight that I have pulled up here is in Season 2, Episode 6. If I cut around it smartly enough, it should prevent me from spoiling anything. Season 2 is my least favorite season of the show, but the action scenes are really fucking good. This fight especially, the cafeteria fight in Season 2, might just be the best fight in the whole show. And if it's not the best, then it's second only to the supermarket fight in Season 3. But anyway, let's show some of those shots that I was talking about. So you can see here, they have Yolanda roll into Courtney doing that same move. Cindy goes for this punch, which transitions to Artemis doing that same punch. Artemis swings her bat into Isaac. Yolanda jumps into Courtney doing that jump. This block from Courtney transitions into Rick's punch. This kick, oh, that's the best one. So you can see right here, Yolanda kicks Isaac off his feet, which transitions into Cindy doing a roll off the wall. This is a really good one too, where you can see Rick smash Artemis into the wall, and then Cindy hits the food bar stand thing. And now, if you'll excuse me, I'm just gonna watch the rest of this fight because I want to, because it's fucking awesome. Hey, Quentin saved Nissa, wow. Oh, that was a really nice cut. Oh! You better not recreate that. Oh, yay! Those fuckers recreated that shot again. And she finds his quiver, and she's like, ah, damn. That poor girl.
Call that drone off.
This is treason, Agent Michaels. Have you thought about how you're going to explain that to your son? Or is it your daughter? Congratulations, Mr. Diggle. You are going to be a father.
That's such an in-character thing for Amanda Waller to do, dude. Another 52! There's a second one! Don't think I didn't see it, Guggenheim. You're not clever.
I thought you had a thing for stronger women, but now that I've met her, I can see the appeal. Your Felicity.
And we're supposed to think Oliver is dumb, but he's not! He's a genius!
Drop the bow, kid.
And he's got Laurel too.
Countless nights dreaming of taking from you all that you took from me.
By killing the woman I love, like you love Shadow. You see her.
Which Oliver figured out in Seeing Red when he was talking to someone while he killed Moira.
What does she look like in your madness, Slade? What does she say to you?
Death's too good for them.
I remember her being beautiful, young, kind. She would be horrified by what you've done in her name.
When her body lies at your feet, her blood wet against your skin, then you will know how I feel!
I know what it's like to hate, to want revenge. And now I know how it feels to see my enemy so distracted, he doesn't see the real danger is right in front of him.
Oliver is a goddamn genius. Look at this. Oliver found the cameras in City of Blood.
How many times are you gonna watch her die?
Oh, fuck you, man. Oh, look at this. Oh, it's cutting in between the present day and the flashbacks. That's so sick. Oh, the cut was nice. Oh, look at the framing of this fight, dude. It's so good. Oliver cannot hope to stand up against Slade's raw strength. Oh, okay, that one was pretty good. Look at this, dude. Oh. Oh my god, all of these cuts are so good. The editing's insane. Oh god, that was so good, dude.
What are you gonna do, kid? Stick me with a cure? It doesn't matter. I'll keep my promise. Sarah was only the first. Your sister. Laurel, your mother.
Right there, that was the arrow that took Slade's eye. Yo, I can actually feel these two characters getting exhausted too, because they've stopped throwing a lot of like the fancy shit.
You can kill me. Or not. Either way, I win.
The mandate's over. Slade's down, his army's been taken out. Call back the drones.
And right there, she does it. No one needed to die. Oh, is this is the port they all set out on the Queen's Gambit.
What am I gonna tell your mother?
Tell her that for the first time in my life, I'm deciding my own fate. She'll understand that.
Aw, that was what Dinah told her to do back in Salvation.
I know the power of a father's love, and I would die before I let anything happen to your daughter.
Ooh, she's talking about Ra's al Ghul!
I think that this would look good on you.
They're setting up for her being Black Canary now. I don't care what anyone says, though. Sarah will always be the canary of this show. She found his stuff.
Roy, I'm sorry. I thought I could still be Thea Queen. But Thea Queen was trusting. And I don't trust you.
or anyone. The Queen was also weak, and no matter what it takes, I will be strong. Don't try to find me. You won't. Even I don't know where I'm going.
Where am I?
As far away from the world as I could get you.
You're a killer. I know. I created you.
You can argue that.
You helped turn me into a killer when I needed to be one. And I'm alive today because of you. But over the past year, I've needed to be more, and I faltered. But then I stopped you. Without killing. You helped me become a hero, Slade. Thank you.
I keep my promises, kid. I keep my promises!
Oh, the editing there. He was on the one side.
It's really smart. Who are you at Foxton? Talk about unthinkable.
Roll credits.
You and me, I mean. When you told me you loved me, you had me fooled.
Yeah, she did believe it a little bit.
If you spent 5 years on this island, wouldn't you learn how to fly a plane?
Here we go. For the record, I know I give the Russia flashbacks a lot of shit, but this is just as bad, okay?
My name is Amanda Waller, Mr. Queen. Welcome to Hong Kong.
So, I'm gonna do something a bit different for this episode. Instead of going in depth with my reasons for giving this episode the score I'm giving it, I'm just gonna skip that altogether and give this episode a perfect score. This is the perfect way to bookend the Slade era of Arrow, with the series beginning and ending on Lian Yu, the number of different characters that were brought back around for the episode, even if they didn't really do much, like Deadshot, the way Oliver outsmarted Slade, and the way the episode handles the moral stakes around Oliver's choices. Oliver, Slade, everyone else is written perfectly here. This is the first time the series fights feel truly epic since The Undertaking, especially with the climactic final battle between Oliver and Slade as it cuts between the present day and the flashbacks. Plus, all the other visuals are genuinely incredible and have a lot of care put into them. And this episode goes down in history as, in my personal opinion, the best and most entertaining finale in the history of Arrow. I still love Sacrifice, it's my favorite finale of the show, but I would have to be insane to think that it's a better episode or finale than this one. To say anything else about how incredible this episode is would just be padding the runtime of this video, which I'm sure is already long enough. But if I had to add one more thing, it's established in Season 1 that Robert Queen is a pilot and does his own aircraft maintenance. So if you squint at it hard enough, the rules of storytelling dictate that it's entirely possible that Oliver could have learned a few things during his childhood. The Hong Kong flashback cliffhanger can be completely thrown out, and the episode would be no different. And that is my singular gripe with this episode. With this being a season finale, it's time to look at the seasonal charts. With an average score of 3.2, up from Season 1's 2.9, not only are the episodic plots of this season better than Season 1, but the season's arcs and themes of change resonate more prominently as well. And considering this season is almost a decade old at this point, it goes to show that the overarching narrative has aged very well. With not a single episode scoring below a 3 in characterization, and the commitment of the writers to their character work, it's no surprise this season exceeded Season 1's score of 3.5. However, I don't think anyone expected a score as high as a 4.5. Arrow Season 2 not only manages to exceed its predecessor by a whole point on average, but it may just manage to set a record that's impossible for any future season to break. 16 of the season's 23 episodes have a score of a 5 in this category, which is almost 70% of the season. A score like that is nearly impossible to beat, and I can only think of a handful of seasons that could come close. In terms of the characters, this was a massive step up. Though not a drastic increase, Season 2 does manage to improve on Season 1's average visual score as well, landing at 3.2 as opposed to Season 1's 3. However, the average doesn't tell the whole story here. Outside of a few episodes here and there, Season 2 has more going on with its visuals at any given time, and this makes them stand out more as a result. While the quality of the fights remained generally the same, aside from the hallway fight and The Undertaking still being the series' best action sequence, don't at me, there are always more characters and skill sets to keep track of during Season 2. It's no longer just Oliver getting in on the action. We also have the Canary, Nissa Al Ghul, Deathstroke, Deadshot, Bronze Tiger, and so on and so forth, each of which having their own unique fighting styles. The seasonal average speaks more to the way things are shot on a general basis, while on an individual basis, the season is a definitive step up. While Season 2 only slightly improves on Season 1's average, that once again does not tell the whole story. While Season 1's important episodes were more sporadic throughout the middle and back half, this season's scores set a pace throughout the season that rarely lets up, with giving the audience more and more to chew on. There's a vast majority of episodes this season that are either unskippable or nearly unskippable, but it doesn't feel like work getting through them all. It's a season that strikes the perfect balance of a lot of required viewing, alongside an incredible episodic quality that makes you want to see more. Improving once again on Season 1's average, Entertainment amassed a 3.7 compared to Season 1's 3.4. Comparing the two graphs though, you can once again see Season 2's consistency compared to Season 1. While Season 1 is by no means inconsistent, with the exception being close to the back half, Season 2 is definitively more consistent at keeping its audience engaged, as well as leaving them wanting more. Several episodes during the season are able to use dramatic reveals and cliffhangers well, which is something Season 1 only ever did a handful of times. You can tell without a doubt that Season 2 manages to improve on Season 1's blueprints. Taking a look at the total scores of Arrow Season 2, it's clear that the season was almost always firing on all cylinders. Not only did they rarely score below a 15, but they also managed to snag a perfect score on both the premiere and the finale. And I believe this has to do with the different storytelling mechanism used between Seasons 1 and 2. Season 1 had a lot of episodic stories, and while I've gone out of my way to defend that type of storytelling in the past, it's clear that Season 2's more long-form narrative focus made for a better constructed and more satisfying story. The only outliers in the season's high average are the episodes that feel more episodic. Those episodes being Identity, Blast Radius, Birds of Prey, and you could even argue Seeing Red falls into that pattern. I love Villains of the Week, but this season proved it didn't need to rely on them in order to be great. While Entertainment is most in line with the season's total scores, all of the graphs follow the same general trend, and that's how the season should shake out if the season is truly written consistently. When compared to Arrow Season 1's totals, you can see that not only did Arrow go from strength to strength, but that its overall quality definitively improved during their sophomore outing. During the previous season, I counted a total of 52 people that Oliver killed. During this season, however, Oliver killed just shy of a quarter of that many people, with a total of 14. With the goal of the season being to turn Oliver from a hero who kills into a real hero, this counter being used less makes total sense. Oliver's catchphrase was only uttered 3 times during the season, and he only said it himself once during the episode Streets of Fire. As this season has moved on from the list, as well as having less episodic villains overall, it makes sense that Oliver would use his catchphrase less. 4 characters revealed their secret identities during the season, down from last season's 6 reveals. Any other time a character found out someone's identity, they were either told by Slade or found out themselves, and the story is much better that way. We got 7 name drops or bags of takeout from Big Belly Burger this season, and the salmon ladder was only done twice. However, this season's most annoying addition were the 9 separate instances of the number 52. This counter could have theoretically wound up even higher if I decided to count every separate instance Channel 52 News was turned on, or every time Quentin used his badge number when calling the station. However, I decided that once a 52 exists in this universe, it can only be counted a single time. And somehow, we still ended up with 9 separate 52s, some of which I didn't catch until editing. We get it, Arrow writers. We know we're watching a DC show. Now, in the words of Stephen Amell, can any DC project that emphasizes this number kindly fuck off? Before we end off this video, I just want to mention a couple things. Firstly, as much as I'd love to jump right into Season 3, it won't be the next video I do. On the contrary, I'm actually going to take a look back at Season 1 and call out some of the things that I got wrong the first time around. That doesn't mean that the next video will be inherently skippable, as if it's just a retrospective. I'll be going out of my way to clear up some of the things I misunderstood during the first season, and modifying the scores of each episode accordingly. But once I get that out, we will be jumping into Season 3, and I'm really excited about that because not only is it one of my least rewatched seasons, but it's a season I've had a lot of thoughts about recently since the time to put it under the microscope is approaching. And secondly, it has taken me nearly a year and a half to cap off Arrow's first 2 seasons. Sure, we've had some difficulties along the way, but getting to this point feels like a massive accomplishment for me. And a lot has changed in my life since I started this series. I don't know if anyone's noticed, but I have become a lot more confident on camera in the time that I've been doing this series. I'm a lot more secure in my appearance, tone of voice, and general energy than I used to be when I was talking about the first season. I'm closer to getting my driver's license than I ever have been. My friend RJ has moved back into town after being away for several years. I got to see my favorite band live in concert. Me and the lads have made 2 separate Nuzlocke on the Wobbly Gang channel, one of which being an extremely punishing randomizer challenge of my own design. I've done my own monotype Nuzlocke, and I've begun routing a second. My amazing sister graduated high school and is going to college. And most recently, I got a newer, less stressful, and better paying job. I never realized how much has happened in my life since I started working on this series, and I think it just speaks volumes that I'm still excited to make these videos. And I promise you, we will not be slowing down anytime soon. We'll be getting out that Season 1 look back video next, and then we'll be finally jumping into Arrow Season 3. But anyway, that is it for this episode, guys. If you enjoyed it, please be sure to leave a like and a comment. That'd be greatly appreciated. Also, be sure to click that subscribe button if you haven't already so that you can join us as soon as frickin' possible. And while I'm plugging everything else, be sure to click the bell so that you get notified whenever we upload one of these crappy videos. But apart from that, I will see you guys in the next one. Peace out, guys. This is Demigod Shmurda. I'm not doing that on this video, no. Yeah, screw it.